Welcome to Toffee TV. It is player ratings. Everton 1, Newcastle United 4. Yeah, I was just setting this video up and I was reminded while I was setting it up that the last video I did from my home studio was the Manchester United player ratings. What a difference. What a difference a few days can make. But this is Everton football after all, and this is the story of Everton football, isn't it? This is the story of Everton football through the years. Is uh, they always seem to burst your bubble, no matter. I remember winning a Merseyside derby once. I think it might have been when we won 2-1 in December of '92, and I think we played someone like Sheffield United the following game and got beat like 1-0 or something. This isn't a new thing. Let's be honest, this isn't a new thing. But Everton always somehow burst your bubble when you think we've turned that corner. We've showed all them. Me and my ridiculous fucking Ronaldo shouts. They always seem to find new ways of hating you. And I'll be honest, like I'm past any anger because when you're beaten so soundly as we were tonight, there's probably no point being angry about it because who am I hating? Who am I hating? I'm only hating myself. Just gotta, we've got another game on Tuesday. And rather than sit here on a Saturday night getting angry about it, I might as well just have a chat about it and then move on with my life as quick as possible. Because I'm not saying tonight was a freak result, but tonight was just a lesson in what not to do. And very, very quickly, we've got to find solutions because without a disregard, our midfield is just looked so porous tonight that we've got to get a solution very, very quickly, change something up, maybe go 3 at the back. I don't know, but the idea of just swapping one player for another just isn't going to work, really, is it? That's how important Adesina Gay is, and that's how doubly disappointing it is that he's out. And he's going to be out for the AFCON as well. So, yeah, it was a bad defeat today. But fair play to Newcastle. They came from minute one and knew exactly what they were trying to do. And it hurt us. The pace absolutely destroyed us from minute one. Walter made actually playing as a dropping off actually really helped them because you saw that in the first minute, Michael Keane going with him into the space. And the next minute, we've got no defenders because we've got no pace. So, just before we get into like the actual player ratings, Everton will have to obviously start replacing some of these players soon. They will have to start replacing some of these players. And yeah, we can give people a pat on the back week in and week out for what they do, but they're not good enough. They're not good enough. That's the simple fact. They're not good enough. The centre backs aren't good enough. The centre midfielders aren't good enough. They'll have one good game with the Brilliant and then they'll do that tonight. Everton need to put fresh talent into this squad. They need full backs. They need someone like Adesina Gay. It's a full replacement job. Let's get it right. No point kidding ourselves. It is a full replacement job. And we do need to bring players on. That doesn't mean you can't praise the players we've got when they play well. But it is very much, Everton have got to get on with the job really quickly of replacing both of those centre-backs, getting 2 new full-backs. Because the whole of the back four needs replacing. Let's get it right. It's slow as concrete. We need a number 6. We absolutely need a number 6, a proper number 6. Who can get up and down the pitch, but can just sit in front of that back four when needed. Someone who can dominate games, because it was just so evident tonight that we don't have anyone who can do that. James Garner's not that kind of player. Timmy Abunam isn't anywhere near that kind of player, and I've never ever thought of him as a holding midfielder either. I've always thought of him as an advanced midfielder. So we absolutely need to get a player in. But we're going to have to adapt the system because the system isn't going to cope without a Gisagana Gay, and a Gisagana Gay is going to be missing for bar one game. He's probably going to be missing for the next 9 games or something like that. Something like at least like 7 games, isn't it? So, yeah, it has to be done. I mean, listen, no point me coming in and slagging people off. That's what's going to have to be done. We need a right back. We need a left back. We need 2 centre backs. Michael Keane and Tarkowski aren't the future of Everton Football Club. They need all replacing. It's as simple as that. And then we need a number 6. And we need another centre forward. And it's dead simple. It's dead simple. There's no drama about it. That's just we need a team full of pace. And we haven't got a team with any pace in it. And that's fine. That's something that is going to have to be done. Why we didn't bring in pace in the summer, I'll never know. And today we were completely exposed because of our lack of pace. In the first minute, Michael Keane gets rolled. The ball gets played into Alanga, and Alanga just rips down the pitch. And that happened over and over and over. And never mind the third goal. Jesus Christ. The third goal is so incredibly embarrassing from any standpoint. It is unbelievable how embarrassing that third goal is. Never mind the first one. The third one is so embarrassing. We've got 2 centre-backs who've gone up for a long throw and decided to jog back after the second phase where the ball was put in, where no one challenged the goalkeeper. No one then stood in front of the goalkeeper while he bowled the ball out, while our centre-backs are getting back. They just leg it down the right wing. Timmy Abunam just stands there. Michalenko gets done. And Walter Maid is further forward than our 2 centre-backs who still haven't got back. The third goal, honestly, is one of the most embarrassing goals I think I've ever witnessed. Honestly, I just came in and I just rewatched it because I couldn't figure out in real time what had gone on. Rewatched that third goal. Oh my God, it is so embarrassing. It's embarrassing from the point of view of the throw in the first place is terrible. And before I just get into the player ratings, because I couldn't really do a video properly at the ground because it was so cold. So I didn't say a lot of the stuff that I wanted to say. But our set pieces and our long throws are shocking. Absolutely awful. And that comes down to the manager, and that comes down to the coaches, and that does come down to delivery. Our defending of set pieces is woeful. And it's something that needs to massively be addressed. Forget about conceding goals. From the attacking point of view, we never look like we're going to score off a set piece. And to put our centre-backs up for a long throw and then to just stroll back. Oh my God. Rewatch that third goal. That third goal is embarrassing on every single level. We get done. The throw-in's terrible. The cross from Jacob Bryant's terrible. No one tries to challenge the keeper. No one stops the keeper. No one stops the ball going down our left-hand side. Timmy Abunam, Michalenko, where's your centre-backs? Well, all I can say is the finish by Walter Maid was absolutely fantastic, and I'll give him that because I really think he's a top player. So, do you know what? If we were 2-0 up and we had an opportunity like that, none of our players would finish the ball like that. So, fair play to him. I love the swagger. Fair play to him. That was a hell of a finish. I will give him credit all day because that was a hell of a finish. But that third goal, my God. And the fourth goal, Jesus Christ, Jordan Pickford, what? Let's get into the player ratings because Yeah. Me coffee. Hang on. Let me just get my energy boost. Pickford. Horrendous. I don't know why. Don't know why we've been praising him so much. But he was horrendous. No, it's not a Harry Potter cup, you silly person. It is a Star Wars cup. That is the yeah, God. Don't know you, Jesus. Pickford, horrendous. I'm not even sure Alanga's shot was on target that he pushed out for a corner. I'm not even sure that was on target. Then he gets caught up in the corner. He lets Lewis Hall bump him like the Spurs players did. He gets distracted by... So basically, Lewis Hall bumps him. And instead of just standing there, he gets caught up in Lewis Hall, like follow him. Then the ball comes in, it's right under him, boom, goal. Not saying it's his fault from the point of view of the ball, but they get under his skin. 1-0. Second goal. Number one, what I will say is I don't understand why our defenders keep on standing in front of our goalkeeper. But what I would say is he still should have saved it. Really, he should have saved it. It's like he went to do that thing where he likes to sort of, it's coming fast and he puts his hands up and just gets rid of it. He should be saving it. I don't understand why our centre-back, especially James Tarkowski, loves standing in front of him. I have no idea why he does that. And that's happened in the Sunderland game. It's happened in the West Ham game. It's happened in the Man City game. Our centre-backs keep on standing in front of our goalkeeper. And I don't understand why they keep doing that. But that was horrendous by Pickford. The third goal, he had nothing. The fourth goal, number one, I think he should deal with the first cross. He doesn't. And then the second, then there was another one where the ball got played over Jake O'Brien's head. They done us on the break. And then he comes out, stops, and then he makes a save. But why he's out that far, I'll never know. And then the goal, the fourth goal, he should deal with the first ball and doesn't. And then the second ball comes and he goes out to get it. Doesn't go for it, leaves it, and the lad just gets a header. And he's in no man's land. And I'll be honest, that's the worst I've seen Jordan. That's the kind of performance that I think Lee Dixon thinks Jordan Pickford has every single week. But tonight, that's the worst performance I've seen Jordan Pickford have since before COVID. Since before COVID, he was really bad. It's like he got caught. He didn't get caught up in it like, the hijinks of it. He just got caught up in it straight off the bat, as the rest of the team. The team should not be getting beaten in the first minute or less than the first minute. But it's like he couldn't get that first thing out of his head, and it's done him. And he's been a fault for me, he's a fault for the fourth. I don't think he should. I honestly don't even know if that ball was on target for the first one. The corner, he gets caught up in the corner. The second goal, it's on him, even though Taki shouldn't be standing in front of him. The third one, I don't think he's got anything he could do. And I just think he had a horrendous night. And he just happens to have it against them. And they obviously loved it. And listen, I've got no issue with, they can, if you can give it, you've got to be able to take it. And they had a night, didn't they? They had a night. And all their dreams come true. And that's just the way it is. If you give it, you've got to be able to take it, haven't you? And he had a really bad night, Jordan Pickford, after what had happened on Monday. And to be fair, the last few years, he's done all right against Newcastle. It's not like being an issue every year. There was obviously a game a few years ago when I think we were 2-0 up and we lost it 3-2. He's base, but he just got caught up in it tonight. If he saves the second one, maybe it's a different scenario. But he doesn't. and it just very quickly went downhill. His goals prevented was minus 1.26 tonight. Minus 1.26. I just really hope that that's all of that's everything out in one go. I really hope it is. He's had a shocker, and it's done with. There you go. That's just the way it is. So Jordan Pickford, I would give a 3 for tonight. Jake O'Brien done really well the other night. Listen, this is why he's not a right back, in my opinion. I've said it loads of times. No problem with Jake. Won 6 out of his 7 aerial duels. Won 2 out of his 3 ground duels. So defensively sound. It's going forward. I think there's a marked difference in like what we saw under James Garner playing right back against Fulham to what we've seen tonight. Pace was a real issue for him tonight as well. Don't get me wrong, he did make up for it a couple of times, made some really good tackles, but he's not a right back. He's not a right back. I don't hold anything against him. He's not a right back. He's a centre back playing right back. And as I said, the last game you could see James Garner playing there and how much of a difference it is having someone who's comfortable on the ball and who can get forward and he's comfortable on the ball. This is all these injury issues and the suspensions in midfield have led to, obviously, the manager looked at playing Seamus because even the manager knows he's not a natural fit. He'd rather have put Seamus in there at right back at Old Trafford than put Jake in there. Jake might even have a chance of playing centre-back in the next couple of games, especially if we could change the system, go to a 3. But he's not a right back. He just isn't a right back. And when you're playing at home or you're playing against pace, he gets caught out. The manager made a statement after the game, which was really strange, saying that like we're not on Newcastle's level. So why did we try and go toe to toe with them instead of playing a low block where Jake might have been all right if we'd played a low block tonight? I don't like Jake hopefully will get a chance at centre back at some point. And I think the 2 centre backs might have given them an opportunity. But Jake's not a right back. I'll never criticise him playing right back because he's not even got the right body shape to play right back. 4 recoveries, 1 block shot, 2 clearances. Yeah, listen, Jake was all right. I'll give him a 6. He wasn't terrible. Did get caught for pace. I'll always say it's not on Jake because he's not a right back. So I'll give him a 6. Vitaly Mykolenko. I just think ground duels won 3 out of 3. 1 out of 4 aerial duels. But pace is a real issue with him. It's a real issue. And you look at the first goal, he's nowhere near got the pace. The third goal, nowhere near got the pace. He's just not quick enough. He's just not a good enough modern defender. Ironically, I've said this before, he could probably play centre-back. The quicker we get attacking left-back with pace, the sooner we'll improve. For me, he's too much like an old-school defender. He's too much like Tony Hibbert. He's not a modern defender who can go forward and give you something. He just doesn't give enough for me, to be fair. So, Mykolenko, I'd give a 5. James Tarkowski, 2 out of 2 tackles, won 3 out of 4 ground duels, 2 out of 5 aerial duels. But again, it wasn't at the races for me tonight. Just wasn't anywhere near the level. As I said, for the third goal, where is he for the first goal? Where's the commanding sort of centre back dominating in the air? The third goal, he's all over. Where is he? The fourth goal, where is he? Him and Keane, I thought, were embarrassing tonight in patches, really all over the place. So Tarky, I'd just give a 4 tonight. Michael Keane probably had his worst game of the season. Did have a decent chance of scoring. 1 out of 1 tackles, 2 out of 7 aerial duels. So both of them have been dominated in the air tonight, where normally that's where they're quite good. Again, Michael Keane for the third goal, Michael Keane for the first goal, Michael Keane for the fourth goal. Where are yous? Where are yous? Two headers, and the third goal trying to get back. Why have both of them gone up? Why hasn't one of them got set? Why are they both? Why are they both strolling back? Michael Keane for the first goal. Why is he being rolled? Shocking for me. Absolutely shocking. And I said, and again, I'm not being like reactive. I'm just saying, like I said before, Michael Keane's done really well this season, but those two players need replacing. That's just simple. That's just simple. Say when people go, "Oh, Branthwaite will have a job getting back in the team." No, he won't. No, he won't. The second Branthwaite's fit, he's back in the team. It's as simple as that. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you're living in Clark Cuckoo land. The minute Branthwaite is fit, he's back in the team. It's dead simple. Dead simple. Back in the side. Because he's levels above both of these players. As a defender, pace, on the ball. Yeah. I think Taki got an assist tonight, though, didn't he? So fair play for that. Yeah. Michael Keane, I'd give a 3 for tonight's performance. Midfield, James Garner. Again, that midfield was just wide open. Absolutely wide open. Don't get me wrong, his numbers are going to be good. Passing accuracy, 96% and 83 passes of the ball. Great. Won 1 tackle out of 2, won 4 out of 4 ground duels. Yeah, did all right, but didn't move the needle. And our midfield was so exposed tonight. So exposed. And we're so slow. We're so slow in possession that we had a nice little 10-minute spell after they scored where we were moving the ball left to right, right to left. But didn't really do too much. Couple of opportunities with play because we're just so slow in possession. Problem with James Garner is he hasn't really got a long pass in him. It's all dead short. You need a midfielder who can pick the ball up and switch the play really quickly. Because when you haven't got pace, if you can move the ball quicker, and if we had a player who could move the ball, a bit like the centre-backs do, quicker, it would help get us team. Unfortunately, James Garner doesn't really have that in his skill set. Maybe that's something he needs to get better at, is the getting the ball from left to right quicker. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't terrible tonight, but again, didn't really stand out. So James Garner, I'd give a 6. Tim Irabunam was really poor tonight. And he just looked, to me, he looked like a deer in the headlights to me tonight. Do you know what's mad though? Right? On the ball. 100% pass accuracy on the ball. 23 out of 23 passes on the ball. But it was off the ball where he was shocking. The first goal, if you look at the first goal and you analyse it properly, like the manager will do, the ball drops. So we've got the ball. Pickford kicks it long. Barry goes up for a header. And he's standing off and he doesn't engage. And if he engages, he's got an opportunity for us to win the ball. And I think that's what Idrissa Gana Gueye does. Idrissa Gana Gueye in that situation, he engages because he knows he's got the experience. He knows how important that ball is. He sees the picture before it's even started of what can happen if that ball drops and they get it. He's already assessed where we are. Tim doesn't engage and he's caught in no man's land. And they get the ball, get it into Walter, mate. He spins, plays it, both. That's the straight down the other end of the pitch and you get a corner. He has to engage. The third goal, well, the second goal, first of all, the ball gets flicked to him and he just doesn't do anything. He sort of tries to flick it on. And don't get me wrong, that whole sequence was terrible for the second goal of not clearing our lines. With a chance to clear it, first of all, we didn't, and then Jai doesn't clear it. It comes back in, we have a chance to clear it, we don't clear it. But that one moment, he has a chance to clear it, and he doesn't. He just tries to flick it on inside instead of just getting hold of it. The third goal, I don't know what he's doing for the third goal. I really don't. He He has to be strong. He has to see what's going on around him and understand if he doesn't win that ball, then Michalenko's one-on-one, I think, with Elanga. And that's the difference with Ajisagana Gay. Sees everything. He has a picture in his mind all the time. You see that with players. People often say, like, oh, you know, Adissa's passed it or he's finished or whatever. And you just watch Ajisagana Gay play. It's why he's still playing at the age he's at. He sees things before they happen. He's got the experience of seeing what's going. Only so many things can happen on a football pitch, and he sees it happening. He understands the consequences of things dropping. And unfortunately, Tim just doesn't have that experience. And also tonight, he wasn't physical. He wasn't engaging. He wasn't taking a chance to win a tackle. He was on the periphery all game. Whereas a centre midfielder just can't do that. Don't get me wrong, Timur Aburim isn't a defensive midfielder. That's one of the problems. If Maitland Rowe was fit, I think Maitland Rowe would be playing. This is the first time for a very long time we haven't had the Ajisagana Gay. So when those players have come into the side, they've come in when Idrissa's in the side. So if Tim comes in or whatever, Idrissa's in there. We've never had to do without Idrissa. And it's a problem that Everton are going to have to solve very, very quickly. I think if we had someone who's just sitting as a number 6, that would help. Just saying to someone, sit in front of that back four and do not move. I don't know whether we've got that, but we're going to have to. But listen, Tim had a shocker tonight. Absolute shocker. He knows that. He got dragged off at half time. He was terrible. He let the game just pass by him so quickly. It was really, really bad. So Tim, I'd have to give him like a 2 for tonight. He was really bad. And I feel bad because I want to see a young player like him grab a chance. And he's not finished. He's not done. He has to go away from tonight and understand what's gone wrong. He has to watch all the tapes. He has to find out what he's done wrong. He has to find out how he can improve. He is not done as a footballer. He's still a very young footballer who has been put in a position that maybe he's just not ready for. But he's certainly not done, because you only have to look at our squad to say he isn't done as an Everton player. So go away, sit down, find out what you've done wrong and come back and learn from it. Simple as that. Keenan Dewsbury Hall, scored a cracker, didn't he? Scored an absolute cracker tonight. Fair play to him. The touch was fantastic and the finish was really good as well. Again, he played in a midfield that wasn't fit for purpose today, so a lot just went through that midfield. Tackles, 1 out of 3, won 5 of his 8 ground duels. 6 ball recoveries. Ultimately, he didn't have like a terrible game. It's just that our midfield looked really open. I don't think he was terrible. He just 79% pass accuracy, 26 out of 33. Only 1 of his 5 passes accurate. He did a lot in their half. I think he did the job he was supposed to do. It's just that he didn't have any protection behind him. Simple as that. He was doing the job he was supposed to do. There was some really nice interplay between him and Jack Grealish in the first half and some other players when we had like that 10 minutes where we looked like we could get back into the game. We just didn't. So, listen, scored a great goal. Performance isn't necessarily on his shoulders. He did sort of the job he was asked to do tonight. It just didn't work. We're just far too slow in the final third. That's just the reality. We're far too slow. And that's only going to improve by people moving the ball quicker, getting a player in there who can switch the ball quicker, and listen, someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. That's our big issue, isn't it? So I'd give him a 6.7. Iliman Jai, yeah, again, had a bright spell between the two goals. But unfortunately, none of his sort of attacking came to anything. 52 touches, dribbles, 3 out of 3 successful dribbles, but not really hurting them too much, unfortunately. Had one shot, I think it was early in the second half, I think easily saved when he tried to kill one in. Not, again, once they'd got that first goal, it was really difficult for us because all they had to do was sit back. They just had to sit back, get numbers behind the ball, knew they could play in the counter-attack. If they dealt with Barry in the air, which is why they were playing the other fella at centre-back, they were going to be all right. So it was really difficult for him and Grealish to get any momentum going. So in Jai, I'd give a 5.5. Jack Grealish, I've seen people criticising Grealish tonight. I've seen a couple of posts and a couple of people in the comments. Don't quite get it myself on either of them. I think this is a game where Jack, don't get me wrong, I don't think he had a good game. But these are the games which are going to be so difficult for Jack Grealish. Don't get me wrong, there was one in the first half where the ball got played across him, and I just thought, just hit it, Jack. And he didn't. He let the ball go across him, used the space that he'd got, and then put a cross in. I was just like, just shoot, mate. Can you please just start shooting? But for the most part, I just think Jack Grealish did what Jack Grealish does every week for us. He tries and opens teams up with his ability. And the way they played just meant he had nowhere to go tonight. 85% pass accuracy, which is quite low for him. 55 touches. One unsuccessful touch. But to me, this is the real issue with Jack Grealish. No shots. No shots on target. No shots blocked. No total shots. That's the only issue I've got with Jack Grealish, really, is that he doesn't shoot. And I know he's never had a fantastic goal scoring record, but the manager needs to tell him to start shooting. I'm sure he does. He also had 4 unsuccessful dribbles, which was an issue tonight, but he has to start shooting more because he gets into some good areas and then he slows the game down. That's what we knew we were getting when we brought him in. We knew we were getting a player who plays this way. So I don't really have an issue. How can I defend Grealish? What are you talking about? How can I defend Grealish? He wasn't absolutely shite at all. Honestly, maybe if you're in the ground, maybe, I don't know, maybe you see things that a little bit different. But he wasn't shite at all. He's playing in a team where we don't have a centre forward, or we don't have enough players who score goals. I can defend Grealish the same way I can defend Njai. I don't think they had great games. I just think that when you slow the game down as much as we do, it makes it quite easy when you're 1-0 down after a minute to defend. Because you just get back and defend. Newcastle just got loads of players back tonight and defended, and they've done it really well, and then they hit us on the counter-attack. If you think Jack Grealish played shite, good luck to you. Jack Grealish is an unbelievable footballer. He wasn't good tonight. He wasn't good. Didn't have a brilliant game. But this idea that he was shite and we should just go, I've seen people like people are weird, man. There's too many people who think players should be unbelievable every single game. And they let people who are having a good spell get away with stuff. and people who play well most games and then have an off night and they rip into them. It's weird. Like I don't get it personally. I don't get it. It's this thing of like if he had a bad game, he had a bad game. But it's this thing of like, should we hound him? No, because he doesn't have a left back who goes past him ever, and we still are struggling in the centre forward. Barry can do loads, but he's still not. He's still not getting on the end of things, really. So this thing, we have this, too many people have this thing of like, if you have one bad game, you should be hammered. Yet other players can do no wrong, even though they're like bang average. It's a weird sort of mentality. I don't get it. I've seen it from Evertonians for years and years and years. When we get good players, we're dead quick to have a go at them. It wasn't Jack's night tonight. It wasn't in Jai's night tonight. But I'm not going to like batter them for it when too many players are like, I watch them and I'm just like, yeah, they've had a couple of good games. Some of our players have a couple of good games, and next minute everyone's like, they're amazing. And it's like, are they? Yeah. Are they? Even though they've been letting us down for ages and ages and ages. So, no, Jack didn't have an amazing game, but doesn't mean like he was terrible. It's dead weird. Anyway, so Jack, I'd give a 5 for tonight. Nothing came off, and he's just got to start shooting. For me, start shooting. There might be a deflection. Might go out for a corner. Might score from the corner. But this thing, honestly, why? I've seen it online. I've seen it here. Oh, it was a terrible night. Everyone was terrible. But to pick out Grealish, fucking hell. To pick out Grealish, my God. Some people have weird priorities, but there you go. I've already talked about the defense. Yeah. Anyway, Tieno Barry. This lad cannot catch a break, can he? This lad cannot catch a break. I mean, the reason they played Dan Burn tonight was to stop Tieno Barry. There's domination in the air. Again, listen, did all right tonight. Did all right. Nice and neat and tidy. I think he still has to. He has to get stronger. That's the most important thing. Won 4 of his 9 duels tonight. It's not terrible. It's nearly 50%. So it's not terrible by any means. But I think by having someone like Dan Burn on him, they've stopped him having an impact on where that ball goes. And I think that's why they done him tonight, marked him like that. He's still not, unfortunately. He had 2 shots, and unfortunately had the goal disallowed. If the goal had gone in, and you could see how much it meant to him, it was rightly disallowed. Let's be honest, it was rightly disallowed. He has handled it, but even everything about that goal, the fact that he went to header, he's missed it, it's hit him on the arm, and then he spooned it in. Everything was like, this is how his first goal should be. And the fact that they took it off him was just like, and you could see how much it meant to him. And he is getting closer, but we really just need someone who can who can just tap one in when it matters. When we were 1-0 down, we really need someone who is a proper sort of, and I'm not having a go Barry, by the way, but we really do need someone who can just get in there and just tap one in. We really do. Barry's getting closer, and his link-up play is good. but I'm still not sure it's going to be enough. I'm still not sure um, whether that's going to be enough for me personally. But he has to get physically stronger. He has to get stronger. You look at him, he still looks dead skinny against some of these like big centre backs. He has to get stronger, and that'll come. That'll come. But it's just where we are right now, isn't it? It's just where we are. So, I'd give him a 6. I don't think he had a bad game tonight, really, and he was just really unlucky. Really, really unlucky. It is handball at the end of the day. He did control the ball with his hand. It's not like just hit him. He did literally control the ball with his hand. So let's be honest. It was right to disallow him. But it's just one of them, isn't it? Unfortunately. And that would have meant loads for him. That would have meant loads. So listen, he kept him on for quite a long time. He'll be playing on Tuesday, I imagine. He looks like he's made his mind up. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Took him off because the game is lost and we've got another game on Tuesday night, which he's got to be ready for. So it is one of those things. Yeah. The subs. Carlos Alcaraz obviously come on at half time. Didn't really make too much of a difference, really. Obviously smashed one off the bar, which was really unlucky. Really, really unlucky. 93% pass accuracy. Did all right. Wasn't. He's not obviously he's not a defensive midfielder, so he's obviously going to play in the number 10 when he comes on, or play higher up. It'd be interesting to see where he starts the game on Tuesday night. I imagine he probably will, unless he changes the formation, because who else have we really got? Unless he decides to play Dwight McNeil in centre midfield. He might decide to play almost like two sitters on Tuesday night and play him as a number 10. That gives you that kind of cover. 32 touches. Yeah, listen, he did all right. He had another shot late on, which he nearly hit me with, but didn't really do anything defensively. So, yeah. Carlos Alcaraz, I'll give a 5.5. Dwight McNeil, again, come on, it was pretty late, wasn't it? It was really more to just give him, and Tyler Dibblin came on to give to get Njai off and Grealish off. The game was lost by then. Dwight McNeil passes 4 out of 4. The game was sort of non-existent by then. They were too busy just enjoying themselves when we were trying to maybe get a second just to make the scoreline look a little bit respectable. So, Dwight McNeil, I'd give a 5.52. Tyler Dibblin, come on. Nice to see Tyler Dibblin getting on the pitch. Accurate passes, 7 out of 7. He is quite tidy with the football when he's got it. Doesn't give it away cheaply. So he's, from that point of view. 2 interceptions. Ground duels, 2 out of 2. So Tyler Dibblin, I'd give a 6. Interesting to see whether the manager... I mean, one thing the manager could do, maybe, is play Tyler Dibblin on the right and play Njai as a number 10. And play Dewsbury Hall and James Garner as 2 sitting midfielders. I know we tried to do it against Palace and it didn't really work. It didn't really work. We looked quite light in midfield. But if those two sit in front of the back four and don't really move, and then you've got Grealish, Njai, Dibblin, and obviously Barry. It's a lot of attackers for an away game, especially a game like against Bournemouth, who are going to keep the ball, even though they've been beaten today, and I know a few of their players are now suspended. It's another option. I doubt that's an option he'd go for. It probably more like McNeil who played there than he'd do that. But Dibblin did all right when he came on. Manager's going to have to learn to trust them, because we've got, obviously, James Garner still on a yellow card. Tim Bunham's on the 4 yellow cards as well. There's no Maitland Roll. There's no Idrissa Gana Gay. We're going to have, there's going to obviously the AFCON coming up as well. So all of these players are going to get opportunities. That's it, isn't it? But listen, on Tuesday night, maybe we had 2 sitters and you say to Dewsbury Hall, I know it's not natural for Dewsbury Hall, which is another problem. But if you said to Dewsbury Hall and Ghana, just sit in and don't go anywhere, and you say to Idrissa Gana Gay, to Njai, you're going to have to work harder for us in there. Who knows? But he's probably more likely to play Alcaraz. He's more of a natural in there, isn't he? So, and then Beto came on. He didn't really add anything to it, did he? So, and he came on quite late. Now, Ghana didn't get a card. I'm saying he's on 4 yellow cards. So Ghana's on 4 yellow cards. Obviously very close. To be honest, I think I'd rather have got him yellow tonight and be out of the Bournemouth game than the game on next Saturday, which is a big game against Forest. But obviously our team, our squad's going to be getting hammered this month. Absolutely hammered. So we need to sort of batten down the hatches for the next couple of games. Bournemouth's going to be very, very tough. Although they've been on a bit of a winless run, haven't they? 2-0 up today, and obviously drew against West Ham last time out. And I think they were beating a Villa before that. So if any, you can score against Bournemouth. So let's wait and see. But there you go. Listen, not a great day. Let's not dwell on it too much. Let's move. Let's just move on from it as fast as possible. Another game coming up on Tuesday, so let's get away from this one as fast as possible. Anyway, there you go. Make sure to check out my South Stand reaction if you haven't already. My match vlog, Baz's videos. We'll be back on Monday. If you want a much nicer video, there'll be a wear, frame and bin coming out tomorrow with Chris Beasley from The Echo. Check that out tomorrow as well. That's a nice video. Catch you all later. See you later.